This video did not come across your feed by mistake. So if you are seeing this video right now, you are exactly where you need to be, and this is the sign that you've been asking for. Hi, my name is Shanice, your internet healing sister, and I am here to teach you all things self-love, self-growth, mindset change, and healing overall. This is my very first long-form video, so welcome. That's how you know that this video was for you, because the algorithm hasn't even recognized me yet, but you recognized me because this video popped up on your feed because the universe said this is what you need to hear right now. So I know it might feel a little strange, but you are here for a reason. There is power in your story, and I want to remind you of that. You see, we all have a story. Maybe it's one you're afraid to share like I was, or maybe it's one that you think is not important like I did. But your story shapes who you are today, and believe it or not, you can also help other people through sharing your story. I remember a while ago, I had a reading done by a friend who I believe was the prophet to come here and send me a message to a very specific question that I had. And she told me, share your story. The world needs to see you are a shining bright light, and you need to teach what you are learning through the healing that you are doing. And in that moment, I did not share my story. I was too scared. I was too fearful of being vulnerable on the internet because it's scary to break out of the world of content creation societal norms. That it's just like everything needs to be aesthetically pleasing, and you can't just sit down and talk to the camera. You got to have this type of aesthetic. Whatever the case may be, it was not a thing to be vulnerable, and still kind of isn't a thing to be vulnerable. And so I went back in my shell and I did not tell my story, and I continued posting things that were aesthetically pleasing. And I felt so lost. I felt so lost. And I felt like I couldn't really step into my purpose of telling people how to heal or teaching them what I learned through my healing without telling my story. But I felt like nobody wanted to hear that I got cheated on, and I went through a deep depression, and the solo dates and stuff was just not working for me. And I just didn't want to make it a sob story. But after I told my story, what I learned was, through telling your story, it's not just word vomit. It's not just looking for sympathy. It's not just being vulnerable, and nor is it something that is made to make you look weak. After telling my story, the responses I got from people who related to my story was overwhelming. I felt like I was strengthened through the words, through the experience that I shared, the challenges that I faced, and how I overcame what I've been through. And that is exactly the sign that I feel like I was given to share with you. Your story is powerful. Through sharing your story, you do not look weak. You are not looking like you're asking for handouts. You are just simply telling your story, knowing that somebody probably needs to hear how you overcame it, the challenges that you've been through, because they can relate to it, and you will start to build a community. Let me tell you something. Do you think AA meeting leaders never had a drink in their life? No, they've likely had an alcoholic problem, and then they overcame it, and that is the reason they are leaders of other people. You are the most qualified to help the person that you used to be. Let me tell you another thing. Do you think that the motivational speakers that you listen to never been through hardship in their life? Do you think the reason that you relate to them or whatever is because they're just so good at speaking? No, the reason they motivate you, the reason they relate to you is because they've been through the struggle. They shared their story. You resonated with their story. You feel motivated by how they overcame what their story was about. They don't have degrees, and neither do I. They aren't therapists, and neither am I. But they've been in the attendee's shoes. They've been in the watcher's shoes. They know how to relate to people, and they know that the struggle they've been through, it doesn't last forever. Your story, the experience that you've been through, you're out of it, right? So go and share your story. What are you waiting for? Why aren't you speaking up? And I know it's so easy to tell yourself that your story doesn't matter, that it's not perfect or whatever. It doesn't have to be perfect, by the way. Gosh, it does not have to be perfect. But your story is a gift. It's a gift to you, and it's a gift to others. Now, I'm not saying this to pressure you. I am telling you this because I believe you've been waiting for this moment to just break out and say what you've been wanting to say. You're not just a survivor of your experience. You are a testament to the strength, to the growth, and to the incredible power of storytelling. So take this as your sign and come back next week as I'll be telling my story. Okay? Much love, Shanice.